You know, I was looking at the paper.
Yes, Jim.
Yes.
It said the History Channel may have found Bigfoot.
Oh, I know.
Very excited. Very excited.
Yeah.
You don't believe it?
Didn't you see the footage?
No, I did not.
Did you see the footage?
No. I saw the old footage of the guy that fell off the horse.
Yeah.
And the guy in the costume walking.
Yeah.
And he turns his head.
And they realized it was a fake because he had a Miami Dolphins hat on.
That was...
Yeah, but
That's the most ridiculous footage.
yeah, but this isn't like MTV. This is the History Channel. Aren't they supposed to be a little more highbrow with their stuff?
Nah, they used to be.
Not anymore. They're going into sensationalism.
There were a lot of these cable channels that were kind of like, they were just there for educational purposes. No one really watched them. Things like the History Channel, Science Channel. There are a few other ones. What's like Mythbusters on?
What was A&E? I mean,
What?
Discovery. Sure.
A&E was another one. But then they realized, hey, if we put some stuff on here that people will like, you know, maybe a little titillating in some way, a lot of the war stuff is great, people will watch. And they're right. So now it's kind of a little more sensationalism and entertainment than it is really learning. So when they start doing Bigfoot stories,
You don't believe in Bigfoot?
no.
well, they think there's a missing link between people and apes. I mean, it's not crazy that they'll find something. I just don't know if...
I don't know why there has to be a missing link. You look at the chart, it's what it is.
Well, you know what it is? It's because, like, you know, one moment in history, now they can still they have ashtray hands. We just track them and kill them at will, and then all of a sudden here we are driving cars. There's something that happened.
Yeah, we kind of like, you know, kind of adapted. It took a while. It wasn't like 1 week. Yeah, 1 week there's a bunch of retarded hairy men walking around eating mammoth meat, and the next week they're shaking hands with a guy in a suit.
Have you ever
A briefcase.
Have you ever walked in the woods?
Yeah.
It's a giant, scary place.
Yeah, I know.
No, I mean like really walk in the woods. I mean like
I was lost in the woods.
no, you
I was lost in the woods, and there were bears.
you did drive-by hiking. I'm talking going to like the Pacific Northwest and walk into a rainforest.
Dude, I was lost in the mountains.
It was a little hiking trail.
Hiking trail gone wrong. It was 24 hours in freezing cold rain, lost in the woods with no food, no fire.
But the whole time you were like a mile away from a road.
I thought I could die.
You were a mile away from a road the whole time.
Who knows where the road was? I didn't see any road.
Well, that's not going deep into the woods.
It took us days to walk out one day, but it seemed like days. and a black bear crossed our trail.
Yeah.
I had to sleep in a lean-to. A lean-to!
Yeah, that is pretty crazy for you.
Sleeping in a lean-to? Trying to make fire with rocks and a stick in the rain like an idiot? No clue how to do it. Could have been there forever.
Wait, did you really try to make a fire?
Wouldn't you?
This is one of these stories that comes up from time to time. Anthony was lost in the woods for about 24 hours.
Me and my girlfriend went hiking.
Yeah.
And we got up the hill, this hill in the woods, decided to have lunch, turn around, and come back. And she goes, oh, I remember when I was a kid, we used to come up here, and we went down that way. I go, no, but we came up that way. Yeah, but we go down this way. I'm like, I'll give it a try. And within a half an hour, 45 minutes, I'm going, uh-oh. Because it's like a video game level. We dropped off some of these rocks where I knew there was no getting back up them. So you're committed now to the trail.
Oh, because I was going to
climb down. Because, yeah, at one point I would have just said, look, I don't care how long it takes. We're turning around, going back, and going back down the way we came. But we had to climb down these rocks. I'm rock climbing. And walking, and it started getting dark. And
you were pebble climbing.
Dude, no, this is like upstate New York, woods everywhere.
But you said a hill. There's mountains upstate.
It was a mountain. I mistook it for a hill.
I'm just trying to jam at you today.
When did you realize there was a problem?
About a real. I realized there was something was amiss. 45 minutes into the hike back, and then within an hour and a half, I knew this could be big trouble because I realized we didn't have anything.
When did she realize? Point.
I tried to keep it like everything's fine, everything's cool. until I just lost my mind at one point. I'm like, where the are we? Oh, not another hill up. Because, we knew you had to go downhill. Everything is downhill when you've walked up a mountain. It's all down. So we walked down. I'm like, okay, we're on the right track, going down. And then you hit the bottom of the trail, it curves, and now you're going back up. But there's nowhere else to go. I'm like, we shouldn't be going back up again. And like I said, rock climbing. And then it started getting dark, and that's when I knew there's a problem. There is a big problem, because now you could break an ankle. We had to stop. So I saw a sign, and it had a picture of a lean-to on it and an arrow.
So there's no signs in the real woods.
Dude, it was just an archaic sign. I was barely able to see it. I'm glad, lucky we saw it, or we'd be dead.
The cavemen made this sign back in the day? Okay.
And the lean-to.
Why would you be dead? You just would have spent the night in the woods.
Yeah.
No,
you never spent the night in the woods?
We were out of the weather in the lean-to. It was raining. It was cold, upstate rain.
You see what the homeless people do in the city? You can survive one night out in the wilderness.
You see, they got food on them. They got newspapers to shove in their clothes. Weren't wearing warm clothes. It was hot during the day. And then at night, it got cold and rainy. It got cold and rainy. And we had no water. So as we're walking, we had to drink the water that was dripping off the trees.
Why not? You didn't have to drink water.
Are you kidding? I was parched.
You can go 24 hours without drinking water.
And then, no. And then after walking all that way in the cold rain,
yeah,
and then sleeping in the cold in the lean-to, I woke up and my legs and ankles refused to work. Because they just tightened up from all the walking in the cold rain and then just stopping and sleeping. Just sleep. There was no sleep. I was gazing off into the haze of the rain in the woods, just waiting for a monster to come out.
Were you scared?
Oh, was I scared? I am a baby. I was petrified at monsters in the woods. It was frightening. I couldn't sleep. We had one light jacket that was like over one of my shoulders and one of her shoulders. And I'm peering out, like, over the jacket, looking into the mist of the woods, just waiting to see. I didn't know what was out there. Monsters.
What's the lean-to?
It's like a...
Is it like a bathroom and a bed and a...
No. The lean-to is...
what kind of monster you think was going to come out?
A bear. I thought a bear was going to come out.
So at least it's like a real monster. You weren't...
No, they were real monsters.
You weren't thinking werewolves or...
No, I thought werewolf. I thought crazed murderer. I thought there could be crazed murderer.
Why? He couldn't see either.
But for some reason they can.
Why would a crazed murderer be out in the woods?
I know. Wouldn't he be killing someplace where there's people?
I don't know, but they always find, like, stupid people that are in the lean-to. Maybe the guy was staking out the lean-to.
That's in the movies.
Don't matter. Sometimes yeah, he could have built the lean-to for dummies.
Yeah.
That got lost, and then he hacks them up.
It's a portable lean-to sign and lean-to. He probably just brings them around and murders people.
Like Wile E. Coyote. He unfolds it.
Puts it back in his pickup truck and goes to the next location.
Yes. It could have happened. I was looking, waiting, and every time you hear like a in the woods,
that's Bigfoot.
No, it was crazed killer or a bear or some type of monster.
Oh,
I didn't think Bigfoot. Bigfoot's too
or just
hack.
A forest ranger walking around making sure everyone put their fires out.
No, we were way far away from a ranger station.
Yeah, I guess you were.
It was very frightening.
Yeah.
And after that, I went home and ordered my satellite phone.
Oh, you did?
Yes, so if I'm ever in a situation again where I'm going to be going somewhere that is out of cell phone range, I always take my satellite phone.
They can get it anywhere?
Anywhere! I was in the middle of the ocean on a cruise ship.
How's the reception?
Very good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Spectro from Michigan writes, a lean-to is where crybabies sleep. All right, listen, we can continue with this after the break. We're late.
Can we talk more about Bigfoot when we come back?
Absolutely. This is what we're going to do, Jimmy. This is a radio tease for everybody. They think they found Bigfoot or evidence of Bigfoot, and we'll tell you what the evidence is after the break. How's that?
All right.
And more of Anthony getting lost in...
Lost. It was very frightening.
In a Boy Scout campground.
scary.
Poor sweetie.
It's Opie and Anthony. All right, so Anthony's lost in the woods. We got
Sasquatch.
we got evidence that Bigfoot might be living. According to the History Channel, they may have discovered the missing link.
That's a lie.
In its new show, MonsterQuest. What's MonsterQuest about?
That's when you and a friend go on a quest together, and you take each other and give each other pleasure.
Under a porch?
Well, good.
Monster Quest.
Just as long as it's a quest.
Linger longer.
You're questing for something that looks like a thumb.
That's right. It's kind of like picture a thumb with like a freshen up gum type of feeling.
Know what's dumb about this MonsterQuest show? The name sounds great, MonsterQuest. Then you think, okay, they're going to do they're going to do their Bigfoot show, and then they're going to do the Loch Ness
Monster,
and then
the Yeti.
Okay, Yeti.
That's even fallen off.
But that's kind of Bigfoot.
Yeah, that's just snowy Bigfoot.
Snowy Bigfoot, and then
then they start getting into the crazy thing, like the Phoenix giant tortoise,
The Jersey Devil.
Yeah, one of those.
And then they're gonna run out of ideas quickly. Well, anyway, you had a group. They went into the woods to see if Bigfoot was living in Ontario, Canada. Oh, by the way, hold on a minute. I gotta give Greg from Ohio some knowledge. Go ahead, Greg.
Hey, what's going on, bud?
Hey, man.
Hey, since when did the rainforest end up in the Pacific Northwest?
Do you honestly think there's only one rainforest in the world?
Where is the rainforest?
Well, tropical climates, maybe.
You might want to Google the Hoh rainforest.
When was the last time it snowed in the rainforest?
Look up the Hoh rainforest outside of Seattle, Washington, my friend.
Smarty pants.
I hiked around in the Hoh rainforest.
Hoh?
There you go. H-O.
That's what I get for going to school in Ohio.
All right. It's in Olympic National Park. It is truly a rainforest.
That's the rainforest
Northwest.
with the nappy canopy.
Yes.
You guys rock, man. Punching out.
All right. Good afternoon to Cleveland, by the way. Hey,
I'm sorry I said that. I apologize for saying.
it's just very mossy. And then you realize that your life doesn't mean crap in the end. It's one of those forests you walk around, you see trees that are growing out of other trees that fell down. So the tree fell down a mere 400 years ago, and now there's another tree that's growing in the middle of this tree that's at least 200 to 300 years old.
Oof.
And you walk around going, oh my God, my life doesn't mean nothing. It's going to be over in a blink of an eye.
You're a mayfly compared to those things.
That's why I hate walking around nature. Went to the Grand Canyon. Boy, this must have taken a lot of years to make.
It's too big. It's too big.
I know
this
I'm
is
doing
too much for my mind to wrap around.
Yeah, I know I'm doing a Brian Regan, but your mind starts going, oh no.
Yeah, it's
No one's ever going to remember me.
that little river down there.
Right.
You look at it, it's like, oh, that made all this?
Yeah.
That probably took some time.
Yeah, then you walk around a museum or something, they have like a big freaking cutout of a tree, and then they start showing you the historical,
Oh, the rings? Yeah.
the historical events.
Jesus born.
Right.
It's like, oh, really? And it's not even near the middle of the tree.
Oh, Jesus born is like close to the bark on the edge of the thing.
Yeah.
This is when the sun exploded. Oh my God. You gotta go way back to the beginning of the life of a tree. I can't handle that stuff.
That is creepy.
Anyway, so they went to try to see if this Bigfoot was in Ontario. And it had a bunch of scientists, and they were videotaping, and they had an audio crew at a cabin in the utterly remote Snellgrove Lake, wherever that is, pulling DNA samples from the trap and exploring the forest. So they had bear traps all over the place, right? The show has caused a stir among enthusiasts because it has gotten so close to proving the Sasquatch monster may in fact exist. The show made contact, they're saying, with the thing on its last night of filming. A stone was thrown at about 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So I guess a stone was thrown at the cabin they were staying at. The stone hit like a bullet. It was thrown with amazing accuracy. So the crew threw a stone back into the woods. and in a matter of minutes, a second stone was launched at them.
By a crew member who realized this whole thing was a bust, and they had to have something.
Yes. Exactly.
That was a boom mic operator. They're like, "Where's Fred? He must be in the bathroom." But the monster is throwing rocks.
Throwing rocks. Then the rocks stop, and Fred shows back up. What I missed?
Yeah, exactly. With a pocket full of rocks. How great would it be if they captured the Sasquatch and then just put a chain around his neck and throw him in the river and drown him with no scientific exploration, just no evidence taken, no nothing. They just drown it. They drown it and just punch it and kick it for being so elusive. And they bury it in a shallow grave.
Jimmy, you
How
wrecked
long
it.
you've kept us.
You wrecked it for me.
Why? You think that was what it was?
Even though I'm a bit older now, I still want to believe in Bigfoot just like I did when I was a 12-year-old kid watching these shows with Leroy, what's his name?
Leroy, oh my God, Leonard Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy, yeah.
Leonard Nimoy.
In Search Of. He used to
Search
do.
Of, right.
If it was Leroy, Mr. Spock would have been told differently.
Right. Wow. I hope MySpace got that. That was terrific.
Jeez.
They don't have their camera. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh, well. This guy was scared. I felt the adrenaline. When we threw that rock into the woods and then it got sent back, my heart raced. Then they say blood tissue and hair discovered later on a bear trap outside the cabin was tested. The hair did not match any known North American bear or animal, and tests showed an uncanny similarity to human DNA, with one exception. The irregular DNA matched that of a primate.
Wow. That's frightening.
And they also found the big thing, though, which they don't write here because they didn't have enough space, was that they were, somebody wrote the Yeti is a douche on the cabin, and they think it was him because there's a rivalry. But he spelled douche wrong, as a lot of time primates will do. They spell it with 9 O's.
A little carried away.
Yeah, they love that sound, douche.
Larry, Maryland, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
On Google Earth, if you go around, you see like little dots everywhere, like little yellow dots or little colored dots, and if you click on them, it gives you information. And I was clicking on some local where I live, and they take you to a site where all these people have reported different Sasquatch or Bigfoot sightings, and they give you their like real stories about what they found and everything. If you get bored.
He tells the story, and then it's like, if you get bored.
Yeah, you know, it's something to do when you're sitting around at work.
Well, the only problem is when these guys come out, like Opie's talking about the stuff Leonard Nimoy used to do, like that guy admitted that so many of them admit hoaxes now, like on their deathbeds, like the guy, the surgeon's photo was the famous Loch Ness Monster photo.
Yeah.
And he admitted it was a hoax. It was a such simple little stupid thing.
Stupid deathbed confessions. Guy should have died in a fire.
Yeah, so we can enjoy it.
Yeah.
So we can enjoy it during our lifetime.
And didn't
Right.
Bigfoot, the guy say that was a hoax too? Like he was wearing a Bigfoot outfit.
I don't know what happened with the Bigfoot
Robert
one.
Johnson's name.
Yeah, somebody came out and said that was a hoax.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
The guy that got thrown off his horse but kept the camera going.
And they show the rest of the footage, like after the monster runs away, when he comes back in, and then he gets in his car and drives away in the Bigfoot outfit. And there are still people who believe.
Well, because he had a birthday party to go to.
Yes.
You know.
Here's the footage. Look at that stupid Bigfoot.
Let's say.
And remember the analysis that went down? Like they said, if you look at the stride, you'll notice it's a longer gait than that of a human. Like those old shows used to try to really sway your opinion of the whole thing. And Search Of was the worst. Leonard Nimoy. Extraterrestrials, UFOs, psychic phenomena.
His voice used to scare the crap out of me, though.
Yeah.
As a kid.
Funny intro to that show.
Yeah, it's really good.
Sure, it's
great.
there, yeah.
It'll bring back memories for some people.
Scare you.
Yes, Jimmy?
No, go ahead.
Josh in Philly, what's up?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Hit her, Jesh.
Hey, wanted to ask Ann, when you were lost in the woods, how could you be afraid? I mean, didn't you have your rapier with you?
I had not a weapon. I didn't have my rapier. And then I tried to pick up a stick, big stick, when I saw the bear, so I could poke the bear's face if he tried to eat me. And I picked up a stick, and it broke as I picked it up.
Oh, really?
It was one of those like the rotting limbs.
Yeah,
That
because
was just there. It's been raining and
it's been rotting in the woods for over 100 years.
Yeah.
And you finally picked it up and it fell apart in front of your eyes.
fell apart. I had nothing. I'm just staring at a bear, just going, if this thing turns around and sees me and attacks me, there's nothing I could do about it. Nothing.
Hey, also, I say forgiveness for dog when he falls in a bucket of AIDS. Linger longer!
I love my linger longers out there.
Experience I ever had was being lost in the woods. I was 8 years old. We were the Girl Scouts. They're going to take us camping, and then you circle, and we're leaving like little marks on rocks, and then you hit the same rock.
Where'd you go, Carol? Heckscher Park out there on Long Island? To get lost in Heckscher Park?
Blue Bay, out on Long Island. You're right.
Of course. I know where she gets lost.
Wait, where'd she get lost?
Blue Bay.
Blue Bay. But we're 8 years old.
Oh, okay, you're a kid.
You'd think there'd be some supervision. But no, it is scary because you turn around and everything looks the same. You don't know where you are. Oh, my God, you've dredged up some memories.
Yeah, you know what? There's not much that scares me in my life. There are two things, though. And Anthony brought this up recently on the show. One is I have done some hiking in my day. And when you're like on a hiking trail and you look into the woods and you know that the woods just go on for
they go
miles.
for miles.
And even though it's like a bright sunny day up above, it is already dark at 1 in the afternoon. That creeps me the F out. I can't handle that.
Yeah.
And I want to be one with nature, man.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if you ever done any, hold on, Carol, if you've ever done any scuba diving or snorkeling, like Anthony brought up, and you look down into the you look to the, let's call it the abyss, whatever. You just look and you realize, like, that, land is Spain, basically.
That's the next stop.
There's nothing but water and monsters between you and Spain, and it gets dark really quickly, and you have no clue what's going to come out of that darkness. That freaks me the F out.
It's frightening.
Even when recently I went on vacation and Turks and Caicos, and I was doing some snorkeling off the beach. No big deal, right? Just having some fun. And even just turning and looking outwards scared the crap out of me, even though I knew I was only, 40, 50 feet from shore.
Yep.
That darkness. Huh?
I would never go snorkeling because you can't breathe down there, okay?
The darkness.
Get a hold of yourself, Carol.
I love Carol.
For the love of God, you're panicking.
We love Carol. We want more women calling this dumb show. Jesse, what's up?
Hey, what's up, boys? I was wondering, Ant, when you were lost in the woods, was one of the monsters you were afraid of a Mexican in the bushes? Linger longer!
Guys, let's say hi to Paul in New York. Paul, what's up?
Linger longer!
God. He just wanted to say that.
That's all it said on the line.
And I just want to hit him.
Dave in Kansas City, how are you, buddy?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Didn't Bob Kelly claim that he saw a werewolf when he was in Iraq?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That whole werewolf story?
Yeah, he never finished the whole story. I think somebody cut him off or something, but he started to tell it when you guys were on the other side one morning.
I don't know if I've heard it. I think every time he tries to tell it, I can't get through it.
He is convinced. I remember this when he went over to Iraq to perform for the troops, and they were like kind of wandering around one of the compounds or something like that, and he swears he saw a werewolf.
Yeah.
Right on.
Maybe we could get him on the line to retell that story today.
All right. Yeah.
I just can't hear Bob thinking he saw I just can't do it. Every time he's tried to, dude, and I'm over there, and the tents are going, and I see it.
I know, just shut up.
You didn't see a werewolf. That was a woman who lived there.
Get on your hands and knees like a dog. That's it. Crawl around like a dog.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bob would say to a werewolf.
Of course he would. And then I think I heard him telling that story once, and we were saying, like, the zoos had let animals out, and there were creatures out there that you don't even know about in the deserts of the Middle East.
Yeah.
And he's an authority. I saw a werewolf. No, you didn't. You saw a big dog.
Yeah.
It's just dummy. It's something you didn't see walking around the streets of New York City, so he's fascinated by it.
He's probably in a sugar coma because they have all that candy there the soldiers eat. So he probably was just shoving, Hershey's Kisses into his fat face till 4 in the morning. Getting onto a Black Hawk. They probably had to fly him and Colin on separate Black Hawks.
Weight restrictions.
Take off.
We can only lift one tank at a time.
Just to complete this, we were talking about this earlier and we found it. Here it is.
This series presents information based in part on theory and conjecture. The producer's purpose is to suggest some possible explanation, but not necessarily the only ones to the mysteries we will examine.
That was a disclaimer.
Totally. We have no idea what we're talking about.
A complete disclaimer. This is pure fantasy. Yeah. We made this crap up.
We're going to take a shot. That's what we're going to do. And our shot might miss.
Probably will.
Settle in for an hour.
That was In Search Of, but it didn't do that whole line you did.
No, because I do remember Leonard Nimoy doing the opening where he talked about, we'll investigate psychic phenomenon.
They never got anything
UFOs.
accomplished.
Huh?
You got nothing accomplished on In Search Of.
No, never. You left that show the same as when you went in. What?
What a
Are
great-
there or aren't there?
Well, first of all, the cameras were as big as Buick, so it's hard to like haul that into the woods to try to get a picture of Bigfoot.
Right, perhaps.
Plus, what a great gig for Leonard Nimoy. Like, he didn't have to search for anything. He would just go down and do the voiceover. It's probably in LA.
yeah.
Drive down from his Spock lair.
Of course. They're playing Mr. Spock, and then he'd go into a studio, record some stuff, not even look at what he's doing voiceover for.
What are we looking at this week? Platypuses? All right.
All right.
Give me the copy.
The duck-billed platypus. God's mystery or alien? Is that good? Good take? Okay, go on to the next one. What are we doing?
But what we pointed
UFOs?
What we point out, Bill, is it was like In Search of Bigfoot, In Search of Loch Ness Monster, In Search of Yeti, which was, what do you call it? The
snowy Bigfoot.
and then after that, it's like, this week,
Big drop-off.
In Search of the dodo bird.
Yeah.
Is it really extinct?
In Search of Lost Civilizations. That was
that's
another
right.
one.
That was another one,
You know,
sure.
they'd go to Mayans and Aztecs,
Aliens.
and then they'd do the alien tie-in. Look at the etchings on this pyramid. This could be an ancient astronaut. Yeah, or a guy holding a pot.
Yeah.
It's pretty much... No, that could be the steering wheel. Oh, is that it? Oh, In Search of the Abominable Snowman.
What a turd.
I got to admit, when I was a kid, I liked the show. Granted, I was like 8.
Yeah, I know.
You
Every
loved it.
kid
You
liked
wanted
it.
to believe, right? And then you would get scared at night, even though you lived in a suburb.
Scared.
And you lived on a cul-de-sac, and you were worried about Bigfoot and all these creatures coming up to your window.
You know what? And the
UFOs.
footage is over. The camera's always
Very
shaking.
shaky.
They never quite get it. That's like there's a thing on YouTube of some guy allegedly getting eaten by lions. And
yeah.
And the
all
funny
shaky.
thing, the lion just comes up and just sort of pushes him down. And my favorite part is when the person holding the camera goes for the reaction shots of the kids in the car. Like anybody would move that camera. If someone was getting eaten by a lion, I'd be so frozen in that moment. I would be like, well, let's try to get a couple of, in case I want to go to commercial, a couple of cutaways. I'll pan over to the 5-year-old crying
Reaction
in the car.
shots.
Yeah, he's producing them.
Yeah, just in case we got to edit something out, we got something to fill.
In search, see, this proves my point. Now we're looking for YouTube In Search Ofs. We found In Search of the Elephant Man.
Oh, but he was a real guy.
It's a lady with bumps.
Who's the Elephant Man?
It's a real disease.
Yeah, the Elephant Man was the guy.
What guy?
The guy from the movie.
Oh, all right.
John Merrick.
Yeah, that's it, John Merrick.
Well, they're just
He
showing.
was real. You don't got to go in search of him.
But that's not.
He's dead.
That's just a guy with a lot of weird bumps on his
Exactly.
body. Why the Elephant Man?
Yeah.
He had the mumps.
Yeah, that's all.
So
man,
that's
half
in search
cauliflower.
of.
Let's go to Philly. Say hi to Mike. Mike, what's up?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, Ant, you're forgetting about spontaneous human combustion.
Oh, that was my favorite.
In search of spontaneous human combustion.
I'd go to bed at night scared to death I was going to explode.
Wasn't that like a scary thing? Because it could just happen. You'd just be laying there and you catch on fire. Spontaneously, you just catch on fire.
Remember they would show the couch and stuff, and it would be burned beyond recognition, but the rest of the house wouldn't be touched because the fire burned in such a way.
It burns really hot because of the fat in your body. And
oh, man, that was one of my favorite. You're bringing a great memory up there, Mike.
Wait, was that nonsense? It never happened?
I don't know what they...
There's all kinds of rumor and speculation. No, they can't be. But how do you just burst into flames?
Yeah.
Because if your
No,
body
your
temperature
chemical
goes
reaction.
up like 5-6 degrees, I mean, you're going to die after a while, right? When it gets up to about 104, 105, you do.
Yeah, but you don't
damage.
get hot enough to burst into flames.
That's
It's a
what I'm saying.
chemical reaction. Like the certain chemicals in your body mix that aren't supposed to mix. Like you have potassium in there and water. If you mix potassium and water together, you're going to get like a huge hot flame.
Will you?
Yeah. But
So
it's
if I have a
mixed in-
banana and then drink a Fiji water,
well, there are other things in it that prevent the
I could
molecules from
spontaneously
reacting with each
burst
other.
into flames.
Keep it from reacting with each other. But if they're alone and they can react with each other, then you're going to burst into flames. But there are precautions in there that keep that from happening.
Oh,
But
Guys,
I don't
one
know.
other one too.
Yeah, you burst into
Every
flame.
time you go on a cruise, I think about it. I don't go. I've never been on a boat because of the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was a huge one because that tied in UFOs and people.
Underwater civilization.
Yes, everything.
Search of Atlantis.
Yep.
Atlantis.
Yep.
And is Atlantis the Bermuda Triangle?
And they had the divers, and you see like a path under the water.
Could this have been an ancient highway?
Right.
Where the Atlanteans used to travel? But no, it's not. It's just
coral reef.
It's coral. It's fish. It's nothing.
It sucked when you got a bad search of like the great ones were UFOs and Bigfoot. When they put like a search of the shadow people, you're like, ugh.
Yeah, no, I don't even care about these things. I've never heard of them before.
They don't exist. I'm 9 and I know that.
Haunted houses was scary though as a kid. In search of haunted houses.
Yeah,
and then they'd show like ghosts and stuff. Ooh.
Let's go to Kevin in Pennsylvania. Kevin.
Yeah, I think the spontaneous combustion thing, they said that was probably due to somebody falling asleep with a cigarette on their chest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I think Mythbusters did that, or somebody was trying to do that again.
Kind of brings back the memory of a little family vacation.
Yes.
I love that story. My sister inherited some money from like some like distant uncle, and my dad turned it into the family vacation. Instead of going to Disney, we went way up into the mountains of New York, where this guy used to live. And he had a bunch of cottages that he rented out, and my dad made it sound like we were like gonna rock and roll, and we would have the run of the place. And we show up because I guess my sister, this guy died, and my sister had to go up there to sign some paperwork and get some money, whatever. So we decided that we were gonna stay on this guy's property. We get there, and the grass was easily 2 to 3 feet high. The pool wasn't used for at least a decade. The cottages, no one had slept in them for many, many years. And my dad still was trying to sell, like, how cool is this? You guys all get your own cottage. And
Look
the
at
cottages,
the algae.
Right. And the cottages were right up against the woods. That was obviously scary with monsters and all that crap, especially because we were like 10 or 11. And there were huge mosquitoes in each cottage, and you could smell the sheets and the pillows and stuff. They haven't been washed in years, that musky, smell. But my dad, nothing fazed him. So he said, yeah, you guys will all get your own cottage. And then because I was the oldest, even though I was 11, he decided I was old enough to see how this guy died. So I go into the main house, and we go into the bedroom, and there's plywood everywhere.
This is horrible.
I'll never forget this. My dad horrified me. There's plywood everywhere where walls used to be and the ceiling used to be. And the only hint that this was a bedroom was where the mattress used to be. The rug was still intact for the most part. The guy fell asleep in his bed with a freaking cigarette and burned himself alive.
Oh, my God.
And we're up here taking care of business, and it was supposed to be this big, great family.
Happy family vacation.
Up the room?
They did to a point where they had the plywood up where the walls used to be. But we had to go through the house and
police tape still laying on the floor.
Yeah.
We had to go through his crap. But my dad, the key to the story, he sold it like this was going to be our great summer vacation in the mountains.
Crystal Lake.
Yeah, Camp Crystal Lake. And you saw like the burn marks where he had been dead.
Oh, it was a fine fire. And then I had to come back out and report it to my brothers and sister what I saw in there, the horrific sight I saw. And then we were scared essless. And then
Let him go out and tell the story to the others.
Yeah. And then my mom finally stepped up and said, "We're not staying here." And we got like a bed and breakfast or something down the road.
Oh, you didn't stay?
No, we were scared out of our freaking minds. You want to talk about monsters?
That guy must have passed out drunk.
Oh, yeah.
Like the second your chest started catching on fire, wouldn't you wake up and just sort of, pat
Well, it
it
might
out?
have been the what is it called? The gangrene or whatever. His leg was rotting for some reason.
Oh.
Too. I don't know what that
Good
was about.
Lord.
So maybe he started burning and he couldn't get out of his
That
own
must
bed.
have smelled good. Burning gangrene.
But it was the whole lead up. It was like Chevy Chase in Vacation. Like my dad was selling this as this great, you're picturing your own campsite, your own cottage, a pool, the mountains.
Well, what's he going to say?
It was horrific.
Kids, let's all gather together. I want to tell you why we're going up on this mission.
I felt like we were walking through a haunted house. A haunted house.
Were you disappointed when you saw the cottages?
Oh, well, like you wouldn't believe.
Was the family all?
Oh, yeah.
Sucks.
Oh, yeah.
No one was psyched?
No one. Maybe one of my brothers could call and add to the story.
Could your dad feel the energy in the car? Just drop it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because we were poor. So my dad, saw this as an opportunity to give us a great vacation. It sucked. Walking through that house, you're seeing dead guy stuff everywhere.
This vacation's going to be great.
Yeah.
Wait, but Oh, is that where he
God, that must have
died?
sucked for him, though.
Huh?
That must have sucked for him when he went there and he had to amp up something and he just so clearly knew sucked.
Yeah, it was awful. I think we were supposed to spend like a whole week there, and we did like a day and then drove the 12 hours back home.
Oh, wow.
It was one of the most horrific things growing up.
Great vacation.
Let's go to Nicole in Pennsylvania. Nicole, what's up?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good. I wanted to talk to you, gentlemen, about spontaneous human combustion.
Oh.
All right.
Psychic phenomenon.
About this college, and everyone has an internal thermometer inside their bodies, and in order to keep that going, the mitochondria inside of you bump into each other and cause friction. Now, sometimes the mitochondria act up a little bit, and that would cause a fever and or spontaneous human combustion.
You know, a fever and combustion, that's quite the gap in temperature there.
Well, that's why it's spontaneous, I suppose.
All right, give me
spontaneous.
Give me the news story on the last guy that this happened to.
Yeah.
Let's do a little Google search today.
There is a book. It's called...
Your call is spontaneous human boredom.
There's an actual book on this, though?
Well, there is. It's a book on... I guess there was only like 13 people ever known to have this happen to them, but they still can't explain it.
It never happened.
Yeah, all right. And what's the name of the book, Nicole?
It's called...
Good for you. Good for